What's up, everyone? I'm Timothy Alman Jr. This is Milamasylum. I got another build here. It's by Tenhorses. We'll see what the quality of the blocks are as soon as I get this open. So here, Link and Zonai device dispenser. So, this was kind of a cool aspect to the game. Although it got really redundant. Very, very redundant. Once I got like a quarter of the way through the game, I stopped using any devices really. And the more I collected and the more things I did, I just really had no use for any of them anymore. I had some in my collection, but they're just so much scattered throughout the land that I just didn't ever need to utilize this ever, really. Yeah, I don't know. I just found the game very boring and basic and catering to the lazy people who don't really want to like use thought, because everything in the game was very basic and simple, and there wasn't anything difficult in the game. There was no great puzzles that you had to like figure out what you needed to do. Everything was just meh. Anyways, point is, let's get into this and see how we go. I'm gonna open it up, and then we'll check out the quality of the blocks. We got one bag that's holding all the other bags. A mini bag with four by four squares, or two by two squares. Some random page here. 4 pamphlets. Now these, yeah, these are going to be how we build it. So not a cool booklet or anything. This is going to be a very annoying process. Very annoying. So 2 out of 4, 3 out of 4. 1 out of 4. And 4 out of 4. And then this, I'm not sure what this is. I thought it was like maybe a sticker, but it's not. It's showing you where where these 4, where these 4 pegs, which doesn't really make sense because this is 1x here. And then it's showing in red the 4 corners to elevate this off the ground. Which I find really weird that you would elevate it on the 4 corners, but you have no stability here in the center whatsoever. So any added weight on here, you would just flex the entire mold. That's really stupid. Anyways, yeah, let's get to it. So let's see the quality here. Well, they snap together very well. They don't feel cheap like Mega Blocks. They're pretty sturdy like a Lego. I don't know if these came with the little Lego disconnector. Like the last 2 that I did, they came with a little Lego pry bar. What is this? It's not even labeled. This must just be the bottom end of it. This is a bag that's unlabeled. So I got one and one. So I got. Why do I got 3 bags labeled as one? 2 bags of 2, 3 bags of 3, and 1 bag of 4, and then 1 blank piece, which I'm going to assume goes with that 117 paper. Anyways, yeah. So 1 of 4. Okay, so it's showing sections 1 through 14. You flip it over and go through 15 to 30. Pretty basic, but as I stated, this is a very annoying process because it's so big that it's kind of going to be in the way. And so the only logical thing we can do is fold it in a way that will simplify the build for us. Maybe like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we gotta go jump all the way back over to 7. 7, 7, 8, and then we open up 9, 10, 11, 12, and then finish out to the bottom. That might be the easiest route we can go. Yeah, and it's funny is because as simple as the build is, look how simple that is. It's pretty extreme, especially on the platform side of it. That's just insane, really. It's funny because it kind of reminds me of that dude that did the whole Breath of the Wild world in Minecraft, and he did the bottom. Oh no, he did Tears of the Kingdom. He did all the underside structures of all the floating continents, like almost to the exact replica, and it was just this very taxing part of the build, and it was just like, kind of deemed pointless, but at the same time, I get it. He was trying to be, accurate. But anyways, let's see what we get into. Yeah, it's saying I need a 2 peg by 14 peg. And then in section 1 for the build, I see none. And lo and behold, here they are in this unmarked bag. Not a good start. And I can't remember the company. Anyways. Oh, okay. Whoosh. Here we go. By 14. There we go. Wow. So I guess that's part of the 1 build, clearly. But damn, what crappy packaging. We also need a 6 by 14, which is also in the same bag. So this bag is going to be pivotal. This unmarked, just Ziploc sandwich bag. They should have at least made me a sandwich and threw it in there, for the inconvenience of not labeling properly. So that's part of 1. Now, if you guys have gotten this same set, let me know if it was the same way. Any differences that you might have with it, let me know what your thoughts are on it. Yeah. Anyways, I'll get back to it. So if you're aware, this does feel and smash together like Lego. It's a little bit more flimsy. but it's still pretty solid and durable, and it feels like Lego. I mean, it is a little squishier, just like the last builds we did. What are you doing there, Giddy? What do you want? Oh, things may make a mess. What are you doing? But yeah, it is structurally feels the same, very similar. But when you really press into it, you can feel the flex. You can even see the flex. I don't know what you're doing. So, anyways, I did know at certain times when you're trying to mash some of these closer ones or these longer ones together, you see the little gap there. See that? It doesn't quite hold as good as Lego. So you're getting a little bit of a gapping issue from some of these other pieces. And I think it's because they're not quite flat or straight. And because they do have somewhat of a little flex, they don't hold as good or as strong as they should. I'm not sure how flat that sits. Yeah, you can feel. Yeah, you can feel a little bit of a wobble and gappage from it bowing up because they're not structurally sound. So I can see in the long run, you can already see it how it's shaped. See that? See how the back's already kicked up? And then you can already see here it's starting to separate. Yeah, see it's starting to separate right here. So yeah, not a good quality, you guys. Not a good product so far. This is not looking too good. You can see it's already pulling up in the back. You can literally see. It's super hard here in my camera, but it's bowed like this. I mean, my hand almost matches it. Anyways, okay. So yeah, look, it's already bowing really bad. It's like, so, kind of like a skull. All right, so we already got a very bad technique and flawed design here. Number 9 is telling you to lay and go under the mold from the back side without flipping it over. They're trying to tell you where to place the 2x 1x10, and then the 2x and then the 1x6 there. And then they also, I mean, the 2x8 is pretty easy. It's there in the front down there. But these are going up underneath, and they're not telling you exactly where you need to peg them at. Very bad. Very, very bad instructions. So make sure you guys pay close attention to that. And not to mention, I mean, if you just look at this overall, and how difficult it is just to verify where they are supposed to go. If you look very closely, you can kind of see that they're all highlighted in red where you place it. But yeah, basically you're just seeing what you have and then trying to make it look like that without any actual directions. So this would be very difficult for you if you have small children trying to build Lego on their own. This is a good learning experience for them to become advanced builders, to kind of look and see visually how it's supposed to look like and then make it look that way. This is almost kind of like, I don't know, how skillful are you at seeing something and making something without a full set of instructions? Like, look at that and build that. Basically what they're trying to tell you. That's basically what it's doing. It's hilarious. I mean, look at the different depths and layers of what I had to go through on here, of like putting each little piece together with very little highlighted red so you know what you're doing. Um, yeah. And it just keeps going. We start seeing some color here in the change ups. So the build's going to get a little bit better, hopefully. You can see see that when I shine in the light, all the reflections. Yeah, you can see how warped it all is. And just so you know, over time, that this is going to start separating. It's going to start doing what the Mega Block stuff does and just start coming apart, especially with the heat, hot and cold temperatures. It's going to really start bowing and separating. This is already starting to come apart as I'm building. So it does suck. So be aware of that. I highly recommend not buying this product. I got this for my birthday, for my kids. So I'm going to enjoy it. It's going to sit on my shelf. But for anyone else who's looking to pay for it with their own money, I highly recommend not. Yeah, I will say that it is pretty advanced. They're just globbing stuff together, and then you got to try to figure it out on your own on how to build it. Like, they're gonna go, these are the pieces you need. This is what it looks like. Pretty much for the most part. I mean, it's pretty. Like I said, it's definitely your kid's gonna have a difficult time with it if they're not very good at looking with depth or being creative, like trying to figure out how things fit together. And not to mention, the entire time I am completely pressing this board down. Like, I am retightening it the entire time I am piecing this all together. I'm constantly doing it. Just to be aware of that. All right, you guys the brand needs to lighten up their green color. It's a forest green. But in the diagram, it's jet black, and then you cannot differentiate where the lines are. So they tell you need a 2x6, a 2x2 pegged, and then a 2x2 flat. And then if you see in the diagram here, they're not showing you how it goes, and there's no lines that indicate what goes where. The only indication you have is this here. This round one is going to be on top of the pegged, the pegged black, or the pegged green, which you cannot see in this diagram. You can't even tell. You can barely make out that that's a peg. And that's the only way you're going to know how to set this strip up. With the next stages, I just kind of, I went the long one, and then the short square, and then the 4 peg, and then I put the circular 4 peg up on top of it. As you can see, I did here. I'm sure you could have swapped these if you wanted to, and put this short one here, and then this 2x4 one there, or 3 one, 2x3 here, or 2x2 there. So you could have swapped either way. I think that just made the most sense to me to do it that way. As you can see, it's still warped and still coming apart. And like I said, I'm still pressing on it. So, book 1 done. All right. You can see here, a lot of time consumption, especially making sure you got every piece in the correct spot. since it doesn't technically show you where, just what pieces. And then they show you the complete build. And then you just kind of go from there. Yeah. You can see from this one alone that it's just going to be a giant, colossal cluster. Yeah. These panels. It's crazy. Okay, so this does not tell you anywhere. It just tells you what number 24, 31 to 60. And they do not tell you that you need to open up bags 2. Now we're only going to assume that we open bag 2s because it's 2 of 4 and there's 4 total numbered packages. But also you can tell we're doing all of this color block as well, so that's a good indication that we're just building the upright mechanism of the machine. The actual machine itself. So, okay guys, make sure you pay close attention to how this build goes. So if you see here, you got the 4x2, then you got the 2 anchors, and they're showing here the way that it's lined up. Forgive me for the camera being a little blurry, but you can see that the 2x4 is behind these. So make sure you're paying attention first of how the build goes. Yeah, definitely make sure you're taking your time and really paying attention of where they're trying to lay all these. You can't see anything as far as lineup goes, and you're trying really hard to focus and make sure you're putting the right pieces in the right locations. Once you get up here into 55 to 56, it starts getting even more confusing about where they want you to lay them down. They only give you the up and down on like the last pieces that they want you to put in place. So far I haven't run into like really any separating issues on this upright build, like at all. There's a little bit here in the front where the round profile comes in, but it's not overall. It's actually holding together pretty well. Oh, there's a little bit of separation in the back. I don't know if you can see that in the build. Yeah, you can see it there. See how it's starting to come apart up in there in the gap. So just keep that in mind, that the entire build is going to separate. 2 of 4. That's what we got so far. You get a little lever or latch, opens and closes. Yes, you can drop stuff down in there. Have it ping pong out. Boing. Let's see here. Yay. Yay. So part 2's done. Now we're moving on to 3 of 4. We have a ton of pieces left over, which I'm sure we're going to be utilizing here to continue on, because 61 shows more building. See, this is the confusing part, you guys. They don't go, well, you're going to need to open 3 right now. Let's go ahead and open 3 and mix it with the 2. I mean, we literally have over a handful of the tan still. I mean, look at, that's not even, still got another handful over here. And that's just weird, right? I mean, it's weird to have that much left over. So we're going to assume that we're combining packs 2 and 3 together in 3 and 4. We're going to assume. Man. So I'm going to open packets 3 and 4. And just be careful. The little Zonai balls do spill everywhere. So make sure that you don't have any small animals or children playing around you that might gobble these up upon opening. For now, I'm going to set it on this base so it doesn't tip over. Put it on a 2x2 square. Therefore, it can't go anywhere. That's what we're going to do there. Okay, again, folks, make sure you're paying very close attention. Why is it so blurry? Very close attention to how they want you to line this up. There's no real indication at all on how to put this piece on and where to put the piece. You just hope that you're lining it up the way that it's showing. There's no clear indication. You're just hoping that it looks like the picture. You're just taking the picture and you're just looking at it together. You're going, I think that's right. It's pretty much all you can do at this point in time in this moment. There's an interesting piece right here. I don't know if Lego makes those or not. I've never seen them. If you've seen them, let me know. They're pretty unique. I'm wondering if it's just this company. They were like, hey, let's make something interesting and new. And so they did. But, yeah. I mean, everything else is a pretty much exact replica of a Lego. Like, exact. Like, everything. It's almost like Lego's like, sure, you can utilize all of our stuff. I mean, they exactly like Lego. But I have never personally seen this before. So if you have, let me know. So you gotta be careful. I found pieces that are undersized. They don't quite lock in, so they're like super easy to just pull apart. You can easily just fall off. This one was way undersized. I mean, it just goes right. Look at that. On, off. So, yeah, they're not precise. They're not. So I'm trying to find a good square with a good angled piece here that's more snug than the others. See if we can. Oh, that one's better. Yeah. So be cautious. Like I said, they didn't really. They're not Lego. They're some off-brand. I don't want to say they're foreign, but they could be. They could be made in China or something. So letting this sit. I've been gone for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours now. And the base still looks pretty held together. I don't really see any gap issues right now. I mean, it's still warped. Still got a bow in it. It's still... so there's that issue. And the whole thing's flat right now. Super flat. But when I put it on the table, it's a huge difference. I mean, I got 1/4 inch gap on both sides when you rock it. So, yeah. Here's an interesting thing. They're putting on the backwards, but they actually show it that you flip it around and put it on backwards. It's an interesting way of doing it. At least they're showing you on this panel that they didn't show you on the other panel that I was talking about earlier. Yeah, this thing is freaking crazy. Right now I'm building one of these. I think I got one more to build to the left side. This one's going to go to the right side. I'm building this little piece of the tower. It's got the little clip on right there, and then we're going to clip it right inside this little clipper here. And you be careful not to break it. This thing's really delicate. I've noticed that in certain times where I'll go to put a piece on, I'll like just barely start to push it and it'll just fall apart. So then I have to like put it back together. So that's where we're at now. This piece here, it's got hooked on in there. So far it's looking pretty cool. Like I said, it's gonna be cool. Kids bought it for me for my birthday, so you know I'm gonna cherish it. I'm gonna display it, share it, but I don't recommend anybody purchasing this. It's not the greatest quality material, but if you do want it, then I would suggest like gluing the entire thing together. I mean, that's what we do with Lego. We build them, we display them, we don't ever take them apart again. We just play with them. I mean, unless you plan on destroying it, or you know, like oh, there's a war, and then your Lego pieces destroy it. But these don't come with Lego pieces; they build characters out of them. This is supposed to have a Link character to it. Like I have a Link shield here, but I see I'm gonna have to build a Link, which I'm going to assume that this is part of him. This pink peach color here, but I'm not entirely sure. Well, I am officially missing a piece. That is awesome. Missing a 2x2 square. I don't have any extra in my fake Lego pieces. Especially not in that color. But I mean, at this point, I'll just settle for anything. So I might just use a 1x2 flat. Use two of them. It's not really going to matter. We got black. Okay, let's see. Let's see here. Do I have another? I don't know. I could like scrounge through all my son's Legos. Maybe find another 2x2. No, alright. I got two 1x2 black flats. I didn't want to do that, but I have no other options at this point. So it's going to look a little funky, but what can I do? What can I do when I can't do nothing? You know what I mean? I mean, it's definitely going to be noticeable, but yeah. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. No, there it is. It's black. See it on from that side. So, gonna be noticeable. It does kind of look cool, but at the same time, it's not how it's supposed to look. I guess I could spray paint it, right? And I'm pretty sure I have that paint pen. I'm almost positive. Almost. Not quite. 3 of 4. Now, 4 of 4. Excuse me. So far, it's been a pretty simple build. But like I said, it is highly complex and complicated, especially for someone younger who doesn't have a lot of experience building. And even if you do have experience building, a lot of it's very unclear exactly how to execute each piece and where to put each piece. It's like I said, it's not the greatest in detail, so it does and is going to take some experience and some very eagle eye to figure out where and how they're placing each piece. So just keep that in mind upon the build. It's coming together. And it's pretty cool. And it's hearing Link going, and then having the balls fall. Yeah, lame, but you know, nerd. Okay, again, here we're going to run into the next issue that people might, it's going to take a little bit to understand. It's just showing these balls here and then showing you put the floral in. And it doesn't show you what you need to do here. So it took me a moment to figure that out. Now inside here, we got these little tab pieces there that I had installed way earlier. We are going to attach these prongs inside here very carefully so we don't destroy it. It's hard to see, so you try to get them lined up. Then you snap in there just like so. I think I got them both in there. So there's one side, and put all the balls in this other one. I just don't want them to go everywhere. Stay. So that's kind of an issue. So just so you're aware, just be really careful. And just know that that's what you need to do. They do not tell you whatsoever how to do that. So it's pretty cool little chamber thing here, and it does open up like that. That way you can put the balls inside, and then you'll turn the little mechanism and it'll knock and free up the balls to allow them to drop. You can see it inside there. I'm pretty sure that's all there is to it, but I'll know more once I'm complete. Here it is once I attached all the floral. Now I'm going to assume that this is one of the ones up in the sky. What I found funny about the game was all the floating islands came from down in the chasms and floated to the sky, and then occasionally someone will drop down. But what's funny is nothing in the depths and nothing in the sky match up if the stuff from the sky came from the depths. There's no similarities between the two. The ruins and stuff are similar, but none of the fauna down there um, at all add up together. Like, and I thought that was just weird. And eventually, at some point, if these are floating and there are pieces falling, then eventually it all should come crashing down. And major flaw design in the game. But I thought it was hilarious that they tried to say that all the floating continents came from the depths. And then you're like looking at the depths and you're like, no, they didn't. How? They don't even relate. So I just thought that was very weird. Okay, so apparently I am finished with this. Now I'm on to building Link with his blue tunic. And he's not wearing a hat. So, let's get to it. This is a very weird looking build for a Link. Look at this. Look at him. Yeah. Silly. It's a silly little Link. I'm like piecing together the torso of Link. And it's kind of cool because it's got movable appendages. But the problem is everything's so wide that these blocks, you can't really snap them inside like they're supposed to. So they just kind of like sit in here. And the only way to really lock them in is if you turn it back and then push in and then it locks. Which would be okay. It would work, but now you got your arm. It can't come forward. It can only go down and sideways. See? Because this is the front. Like this one now, I can go forward. And I can rock it, but like I said, you're not locking them in. You're just setting it in there and just holding it tight. So there could have been a better way for them to do this. Better extension somehow through here to allow you to have complete mobile access to your character instead of limiting him on. And then forcing the joints to stay together not naturally. So that they're not naturally connecting. They're just sitting in there. So I'm not a big fan of that at all. I think they could do better. So again, we're running into the issues of pieces not staying tight. You got this leg here that's easily coming apart, as you can see. I apologize for some reason it's being blurry. But anyways, it's easily pulling apart, so you gotta constantly push it back together. They're using this little T frame here as for part of the leg. See, it's starting to come apart again. It's just and then we shove that up inside here. It doesn't stay at all. It's not tight at all. It just sits there. It just sits on it. And just so you know, it doesn't show you that that's what you're supposed to do. Once you get there, then you get the arms together, and then you get the legs together, and then it just shows that you just put the legs and then get it up in there. Doesn't actually tell you, so you're just assuming what you got to do again. And as you can see, it just doesn't. It's not. It's just a. Yeah. Is it clever that they built a Link out of a bunch of blocks? Yeah, super cool. I mean, I got two right there. Those two are completely built out of blocks. It's not Lego again. It's another off-brand. I have a video for that. I think I do. Yeah. Anyways, but so that was, I mean, that's pretty clever and pretty genius. But yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed in this build. His head's coming along nicely. His little face. And now we have Link assembled. And that's it. This was part of 117. So with 117, they just kind of end it and go 118 with the balls, but they don't tell you what to do with the balls. They just tell you get 10 of them. They don't demonstrate or even tell you to put them in here. So we're going to go ahead and try to figure this out. They say I have 4 here, so also at 17. At 117, I guess you flip it over and put the 4 from the pack underneath. So we're going to do that. I'm going to raise her up. These 4 pieces. And then we're going to put the balls in, and then we're going to see how it moves or works or whatever. So putting the 4 blocks on there, it does take away the bow that it has. It's not as rocky. It's still a little bit unstable, but not as bad as it was. It's not a boat. It's not a boat rocking. So that's it for the build. 4 out of 4. Drop. Okay. Now we're going to put the balls inside here. Just dump. I don't know if we put this straight up to block it. No, come on. What the fuck? Okay. So we're going to put the balls in here. Okay. Put over pieces away, over extras. Put our pamphlets away. Boom. All right, now let's see if we can get this thing to do what we want it to do. See if we can get them to dump out. That'll be pretty sweet. Forgive me momentarily. I don't know if you guys can see that very good. Probably not. All right. Here we go. So Link comes over here. He throws in his Zonai material into the pot. And it's going boop, 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 boop. All right. And then we're going to turn this little cog over here. Oh. And then we got to open up the thing. They spill out everywhere. Boom. That's it. Does work. You can reload up at the top. Just open it up. And that's it. Anyways. It's kind of cool. It's pretty fun. But as I said before, it's not the greatest material. It does have its issues. It does have its problems. I wouldn't recommend, but if you think it's pretty cool and you want to add it to your collection, remember what I said. You probably want to use like super glue or something to kind of hold it all together. Because I think at some point with the heating and cooling, unless you keep your house at a solid temperature all year round, I think it's going to have a lot of issues of coming apart. So, anyways, I'm Timothy Almine Jr., the Milamasylum. Till next time.